This first group comprises the imposters of the muscle car world. These are vehicles that may possess the requisite two doors and aggressive styling cues, but fundamentally lack the one element that defines the genre: muscle. They were often the entry-level, budget-oriented versions of legendary nameplates designed to capitalize on a famous name without delivering the performance associated with it. For new enthusiasts, these cars represent a significant pitfall known as the base model trap. 1962 to 1964 Buick Wildcat. The early Buick Wildcat was a tweener, a car that attempted to be both a luxury cruiser and a performance machine, yet failed to master either role. It existed in an automotive no man's land, outgunned by true muscle cars and outluxed by other offerings within the Buick lineup. It was equipped with a potent 401 CI nailhead V8, producing 325 horsepower and an impressive 445 pound-feet of torque. However, burdened by a curb weight of nearly 4,700 pounds, its performance was respectable but not scintillating. A contemporary road test recorded a 0 to 60 mph time of 8.3 seconds, a figure easily bested by lighter intermediates. Critically, the Wildcat was less powerful than the contemporary Pontiac GTO and was considered less visually appealing than the Chevrolet Impala SS, two key competitors that ultimately captured the market's attention and sales. As a result, the Wildcat never sold well. Today, its value is stagnant, with Hagerty valuing a 1963 Wildcat Sport Coupe in number 3 condition at around $12,400. It remains a forgotten model that offers little to a modern collector besides high fuel bills and a floaty, disconnected ride. 1964 Mercury Comet Cyclone. Like the Wildcat, the Mercury Comet Cyclone was an attempt to create a muscle car from a standard passenger car platform. Despite being equipped with a decent engine, its excessive weight and uninspired styling caused it to get lost in the crowd. The standard engine was a 289 CI V8 with 210 horsepower, a respectable motor for a mid-size car, but not enough to overcome the Cyclone's nearly 3,000-pound curb weight. The result was poor handling compared to its more nimble peers and mediocre performance, with published 0 to 60 mph times in the high 9-second range. The styling was generic, featuring some muscle car hallmarks like bucket seats and special wheel covers, but it lacked a distinct identity to separate it from a standard, family-oriented Comet. While rare, high-performance factory drag versions are valuable, the common 289-powered cars that make up the bulk of the market are not considered strong investments. Recent sales of 1964 Comets range between $24,000 and $28,000, making them affordable but not a vehicle with significant appreciation potential. It is another almost car, a footnote in the muscle car story that is best avoided unless one finds an ultra-rare factory drag racing special. 1963 to 1964 Ford Falcon Sprint. The Falcon Sprint was the dress rehearsal for the Mustang, and it clearly shows its transitional nature. It was Ford's attempt to inject sportiness into its compact Falcon line, but the final product was underpowered, awkwardly styled, and was immediately rendered obsolete by the launch of the Mustang in April 1964. The Sprint was powered by a 260 CI V8, making only 164 horsepower, an output insufficient to give the nearly 3,000-pound car any real performance credibility. Although it shared its basic underpinnings with the Mustang, the Sprint lacked the Mustang's revolutionary long hood, short deck styling and immense cultural appeal. The Mustang's instant and overwhelming success immediately cannibalized the Sprint's sales, sealing its fate. In 2025, the market treats the Sprint as a historical curiosity rather than a desirable classic. Hagerty values a 1964 Sprint convertible at $26,800 in number 3 condition, significantly less than a comparable Mustang GT from the same period. Owning a Falcon Sprint today is owning the less cool, less valuable, and largely forgotten older sibling of a legend. 1963 to 1964 Studebaker Avanti. The Studebaker Avanti was a radical futuristic design unfortunately attached to a dying company. Penned by the legendary Raymond Loewy, its design was polarizing, a love-hate affair for many. Performance was a strong point, with the base 289 Ci V8 producing a healthy 240 horsepower, and supercharged R2 versions offering even more. The car's fatal flaw was its fiberglass body, which proved to be a production nightmare. Studebaker, in partnership with the molded fiberglass body company, encountered massive problems with panel fit, finish quality, and production delays, which severely damaged the car's launch and the company's reputation. Today, these cars are known for common fiberglass-related issues, including stress cracks near the fenders and rocker panels, and sagging doors caused by the hinge boxes cracking loose from the fiberglass A-pillars. As a true orphan car from a defunct brand, parts are exceptionally difficult to source, making restoration a costly and specialized endeavor. Hagerty values a 1963 Avanti at $23,000 in number 3 condition. While not worthless in monetary terms, the potential for a financially ruinous restoration due to its unique body construction makes it an extremely risky purchase for anyone but the most dedicated Studebaker specialist. 1968 Oldsmobile Toronado. The Oldsmobile Toronado was a front-wheel drive personal luxury coupe marketed with muscle car undertones. It was an innovative but deeply flawed vehicle, known for its bizarre handling characteristics, notoriously poor brakes, and questionable reliability. Its front-wheel drive layout, which placed over 60% of the car's 4,600-pound weight over the front wheels, resulted in peculiar handling dynamics, including severe understeer that could snap to oversteer under certain throttle conditions, along with extraordinary front tire wear. Its brakes were widely considered its weak link, prone to severe overheating and fade after just a few hard stops. Reliability was another major concern, with complex and failure-prone vacuum systems operating the hidden headlights and a high potential for rust in the structural pillars. While historically significant as a pioneer of modern front-wheel drive systems in American cars, its collector value is very low. The Classic.com market benchmark for the first-generation Toronado is just over $17,000. The Toronado is an engineering experiment that is heavy, handles strangely, cannot stop reliably, and is a nightmare to repair. It is a textbook example of a classic car that is interesting but terrible to own. The Money Pits: Guaranteed Financial Headaches. This section details the vehicles that represent the most significant financial risks to a potential buyer. These are the cars that lure enthusiasts with a low initial purchase price, only to drain their finances with impossible-to-find parts, nightmarish repair processes, and restoration costs that can easily eclipse the value of a brand-new performance car. A common thread among these vehicles is the innovation penalty. In the classic car world, being a technological pioneer is often a curse. Cars that introduced complex, unproven technology frequently suffer from this penalty. Oldsmobile's F85 Jetfire's turbocharger is a prime example. While historically significant as the first of its kind, its unreliability, the lack of contemporary mechanical understanding of forced induction, and the subsequent scarcity of its unique parts make it exceptionally difficult and expensive to maintain 6 decades later. The market values for these cars are suppressed despite their historical firsts. Groundbreaking innovation does not guarantee high value when it is tied to fundamental flaws. For long-term ownership and investment, the market values proven, reliable technology far more highly than flawed, pioneering technology. These cars are museum pieces, not practical classics.